What's up, listeners?
You were listening to CuboldCast.
A podcast focused on co-op and multiplayer gaming experiences. Our hosts are Caleb, myself, Jay,
What's up?
and Chug.
So what have you guys been playing lately?
I've actually been playing Dark Souls 3 again.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's my favorite game series. And Caleb got it too, and he's not playing
it was at such a bad time. Like, I was already playing Wild West and Wizards. I think Caleb bought it for me, which I told you I'd play it, and I will beat it.
Yeah.
Because you bought
better.
it for me.
You better.
I will. But it's like right after that, then I got Vampire, and then now Terraria's update is coming out today, and it's like so overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I saw you playing the beginning stages of Dark Souls, and it made me want to play it again.
Yeah.
So I did another full Pyromancy playthrough.
Yeah. You're only playing Dark Souls? I thought you were playing something else.
Well, I started playing Dark Souls, and then I beat it, and then I started playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, that's right.
Which is actually, it's a really impressive game, not going to lie. It's really hard on the higher difficulties.
Really?
The graphics are amazing in it, too.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people say it's too hard.
Really?
Like, it's harder than Dark Souls in some parts.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm playing the second to last difficulty, and I find myself dying a lot.
Who makes it?
EA did, I believe.
It's
right?
Respawn. Same people did Titanfall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're part of EA, right?
Yes.
Yeah, EA was the publisher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What else did Respawn make besides Titanfall?
I
mean,
don't
they made
really
Apex,
know.
right?
They did Apex, but that's part of the Titanfall series technically. So
Universe?
yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, the story is really good in Fallen Order.
It looks awesome. I've always wanted to play it since it came out, but
It's basically like Uncharted in space.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah, I saw his this is weird, but like, you know, the character you play, his
Mhm.
hair. Like, I don't know.
You like his hair?
Yeah.
No, but I saw a YouTube video where it's like something about like the way his hair moves or whatever. Like, he'll like move it like randomly while you're like idle. He'll move it, and then like some of his hair will fall like a little. I don't know. It's weird, but
I always thought it was pretty cool.
But yeah, it's just attention to detail.
It's
So,
confirmed that game's going to be a series now. There's going to be
nice.
multiple of them.
Which is really cool. You
What-
can customize your lightsaber like you want it.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember Sam was streaming it one time, and he was showing me that what color he should pick. I think he picked like pink or something.
Yeah, I don't have those crystals yet, but
Oh.
I have a green one-bladed or double-bladed.
Can you get a
Nice.
dark saber in that?
I don't think so. There's only one dark saber anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, in Force Unleashed, you can get a dark saber.
Could you really?
Yeah, like
that was
dark-
a good.
dark
Those
saber,
were good games.
That was like my favorite color.
Yeah. Well, the second one wasn't that great.
Well, yeah. I like the first one though.
Yeah. I was gonna mention something about the new Clone Wars season, but you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, don't do that. I watched the first episode.
You gotta watch.
See, that's another thing. I have all these games, and then now I have to watch the Clone Wars season.
It's
like the last
such
season.
a good season. I loved it.
I have a lot to do.
The last 4 episodes though are like amazing.
Yeah, I know. I heard Sam was saying that like the first couple are really good, and then there's kind of like those middle ones that are kind of a drag.
Yeah.
And then the last 4 or whatever. Weren't they gonna make a Boba Fett game or something?
I think it
They
was called
were.
6 or something.
Was it Boba Fett or just Bounty Hunter?
It was Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And it was supposedly going to be the first rated M Star Wars game.
Like blood and stuff.
I don't know, but they were
Wouldn't that be-
planning on it.
Wouldn't that be
Like,
cool?
that
And
would be
if
cool.
Fallen Order, they had dismemberment for the humans.
I wish.
Or the
Yeah.
stormtroopers?
People are mad about that. I mean, it's a
That-
lightsaber. When you slice through
Yeah,
a
I know.
person, they should get torn in half.
Well, if there's no blood, then it wouldn't have the M rating. It would still be teen.
Yeah.
True.
Force Unleashed did it, and there was no
Really?
M rating. Yeah. You could
Oh, wow.
you can cut off their arms, cut them in half. There was no blood. It's just dismemberment.
That would be really cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't do that. I don't think in the movies, do they?
Yeah,
Or at least
there's
you
a
never-
ton of dismemberment in the movie.
Dude,
Well, I
have
mean,
you
the
seen
arms.
the first
The
Star Wars movie
arms.
that ever came
Darth
out?
Maul got cut in half.
True.
There was
true.
actually blood.
Yeah, I mean, like with the stormtroopers.
No, but
In
they
the
don't.
old, in the first, in the
Well, they didn't cut them in half because probably affects limitations.
yeah.
But if they were made now, they probably would have.
Mm-hmm. So I've been playing. Actually, me and Chug have both been playing Vampire.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is amazing.
So what is that about?
Well, it's basically about this guy named Dr. Reed, and he's
Mhm.
like he's in London, right? And there's this vampire virus going around. And basically the game starts you off like you got the virus somehow and you don't know how. And you end up like going through this like huge journey on trying to cure the vampire virus, and there's all these hierarchies of vampires, and there's like, it's really cool. It's kind of hard to explain in like a 2-minute spectrum, but it's really good.
It's also at the same time when the Spanish flu was rampant, I think, right?
Yeah, and there's diseases everywhere.
So kind of like 2019 or 2020.
Yeah.
Well,
yes
and no.
It's.
I saw something about a quarantine. I'm like, oh, that's like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the like when you're running around London, it's like you can see that people are like dying and like sometimes like the streets are empty. But Chug was saying that there was the vampire virus too.
Yeah.
And
so
that
what is that, airborne or just spread through?
This spread through blood.
Yeah. But it's really interesting because the character that you play, Dr. Reed, he's like world renowned or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or he something about blood transfusion. Like he's like really like high up in the doctors. Like he's well known. And then all of a sudden he like wakes up as a vampire. And he's got this like moral code, like he's a good person, but you have to feed on people.
No, you don't have to.
Well,
you don't have to feed on people. Like you can feed on rats.
Yeah.
So you can progress through the whole game without feeding on anyone?
You probably could.
Yes,
yeah.
you can.
But like it's called embracing, but when you when you drink someone's blood and kill them, when you embrace someone, you get whatever their blood quality XP is. So like you'll talk to someone, and the more you know about them, the more you know about their health, like if they have a cold or if they're fatigued.
And the more hints you unlock, the more XP you get when you embrace them.
Yeah. So like you could like talk to someone and then like administer drugs to them so that they can heal up and their blood XP goes up.
Also, depending on the district you're in, there's 4 total districts, and basically there's like a healthy status, and it can go lower. The lowest you could have is hostile. So depending on how well you like keep the citizens healthy and keeping the main person alive, it just destroys the entire place if you mess up the ecosystem.
Didn't you pretty much kill everyone?
Everybody in the districts are dead for me.
Yeah.
So how do you continue the game then?
Well, okay, so there's the people in the districts, and then there's the main story people.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. So you cannot do anything to those people.
Oh, okay.
So
I think everyone in my game is alive except for one person.
But you haven't played it as much as Chug.
Well, I've talked to a bunch of people, yeah, but I haven't slept as much. Like, you know, you sleep and it starts a new cycle or whatever.
Oh, so you're hungry or something?
No. So overnight, there's the way to actually upgrade is you go to sleep. So before you go to bed, you choose the upgrades you want, you go to sleep, and then it's the next night.
Mm-hmm.
So can you only come out at night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's really cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. You get to know like everyone in the town or districts. It's awesome. I love it. Oh, and the soundtrack is amazing.
Oh yeah,
cello.
It's
cello
all cello.
soundtrack.
I have to say that the soundtrack is amazing.
I love cello.
Yeah, it's so different. Like I'm so glad they went like that way with the soundtrack. It's really cool to see like how they specifically put a lot of work into the soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah, Chug said it was kind of like the Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does give that like vibe.
Is that clunky piano with the cello mix?
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's awesome.
I love that. So today we're actually talking about a game that all 3 of us played years ago called Little Big Planet 2.
On the PS3.
Yeah. You want to explain a little bit what that is?
Yeah. Well, Little Big Planet 2 is a creative multiplayer and level building game, and is centered around creating playable levels and mini games to share with the community.
So the levels can be pretty much anything from platformers to even first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, so
it's kind of like actually never mind. Scratch that.
No, first-person shooters, that's Dreams. That's different.
No. There were first-person shooters in that.
Little Big Planet 2?
Yeah, people glitched them in.
yeah.
Basically, the game is about creating whatever you want. There's tons of materials to play around with, tons of logic contraptions to use.
And as you play the main story of the game, you slowly unlock more materials to play with.
Yeah.
And music and objects and different things like that. And costumes to wear.
That's how you transfer over to, or that's how you get all your materials and unique like objects to use in the creative mode, or I guess you can call it creative mode.
It's centered around this little character called Sackboy.
Yeah.
It's this little brown guy that you can change his facial expressions and stuff, make him happy or mad or whatever. And it's just really fun.
Yeah.
It's just a really creative. It's about imagination, really.
Pretty much,
basically, yeah.
the story mode is fun.
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna say we should start with the story mode.
Yeah. So I think I didn't play this recently, but I think the synopsis was Sackboy is trying to save the world from this thing called Negativitron,
Yeah.
which so he's supposed to be like the vacuum cleaner that sucks up all the toys in the rug.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the analogy there. But you're against this giant monster.
He basically like he's supposed to be the thing that takes away all the imagination in the world.
Yeah,
because he sucks up all the stuff. Like if you go towards the end of the game, there's like his world or whatever, and it's all bland and like
devoid of creativity.
And there's posters with like a fist. It's kind of like communism almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you meet like all these unique characters in the game. Also, one thing to mention is that in the first Little Big Planet, that game was it was amazing. I played that one a lot, but
Chug and I never played that one.
I did play that one on my PSP.
That doesn't even count.
I played it on PSP.
Oh
so.
my, that's horrible. No, but I played that one a lot, and that's how I got introduced to the series. But yeah, so the story mode in that one was good, but I don't remember any of the characters. You know, they were all like bland, and the story mode was like. But when
one, yeah,
but when Little Big Planet 2 came out, that story mode was amazing.
Well, in one, there's no talking in one. It was all letters.
Yeah.
So you had to just read the entire time. But in 2, all the characters talked.
Yeah, and there's like what were some of the characters?
There is Da Vinci, I think his name was.
Yeah.
What was he, a notebook or something?
Yeah, he was basically most of the characters are based off of the Sackboy like format. Like they look like a Sackboy.
But they were bigger. They were a lot bigger than the character. Bigger.
So yeah, no. Da Vinci wasn't the Notebook.
Who's the Notebook?
That was the sad guy, the depressed guy.
Okay, yeah.
I forget his name.
Da Vinci was the dude with the mustache and the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was
there
that?
There was a Victoria lady.
Yeah, I was gonna say her next. Yeah, the Victoria. She was like a queen or something of like a candy or cake land or something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I know that there was another lady that had like a forest kind of place.
Oh, I think her name is Eve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
something like that. So yeah, like you just kind of go through this journey of like different. I guess you could say like they were like planets in a way.
They were planets, yeah.
Yeah, and then in that planet there was like levels.
Yeah.
That you can progress through.
And that's the way the multiplayer worked too.
Yeah.
Was every character had their own moon that you could create levels on, and you could visit other players' moons.
No, it was you could visit their Earth.
Their Earth.
Because you use the moon to create the levels,
and then you put the levels you made on your Earth.
Yeah,
you publish them,
and you can customize your Earth however you want. Yeah, it was really cool.
The game basically promoted like your own personality, like you were
imagination.
Able to, imagination, your own imagination into like you would fabricate it in a way.
Yeah.
So
I played it last night for a little bit, and I was kind of blown away by the creativity of some people.
Yeah.
I mean, this game is, 7 or 8 years old now when it came out?
we played it a while ago.
Yeah. I know you, Caleb, you were into building levels. You were good at it.
I was like, I literally would play it like for 2 years. I'd play it after school every day for like hours.
Yeah.
I was so invested in it. But I mean, it's kind of for good reason. The game is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But
well, the community is amazing too.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, that's what.
So many people building levels, and there's still people playing it.
Yeah, the community. I haven't experienced a community like that since that game. I mean, the community's like obviously disbanded now in a way. I mean, the community's not active that much.
There's about 100 people online last night.
Yeah, so definitely. Yeah,
there used to be thousands and thousands of people playing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're saying the levels, like the creativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the best levels got chosen to be top picks by the creators. So those are called MM picks because the creators were Media Molecule.
Mm-hmm.
And those are just the best of the best. But sometimes you would find a really good level that wasn't an MM pick.
Yeah.
Usually the MM picks were the main platformers.
Yeah.
Because the main game revolves around platforming.
Right.
Like a platformer style game.
Yeah.
But you can do tons of other stuff too with it. Mm-hmm. Like there was the Jeff the Killer level.
Yeah.
I always used to love that.
We would always hide on top of the fridge.
It's a horror style game where you run away from the creepypasta Jeff the Killer.
LBP Toilet was pretty good too.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Chug was obsessed with this level called LBP Toilet. He'd pull this lever on the toilet, and this giant hairy butt would come down, start pooping into the toilet.
And then that's it.
Yeah, that was the entire level, and he would play that repeatedly.
I don't know why.
It kind of had it had its own like voting system too.
It did, yeah.
Like each level would show you, you'd be able to put a description on there, and I think in a way a thumbnail on it.
Kind of like a comment,
Yeah.
right? too?
Yeah.
Like a
thumbnail.
comment.
Yeah, and then you can comment on it, and then like
You could yay or nay it,
yeah, you can put like a little smiley face or the frown face or the neutral face
or we could do a heart too,
or a heart. Yeah,
which
so
is
like
basically that's not liking, that's like saving it, I guess.
Well, you can
Yeah.
yay or nay, or you can heart it. So you can do both.
Yeah.
yeah, and then you can comment like, oh, this is a great level. Some people would leave like in-depth reviews on the levels.
Yeah.
But you were saying the MM picks. The thing, another thing about the MM picks, it was like the most prized thing to do. Like if you were a level
Yeah.
creator, you always wanted an MM pick.
If you got an MM pick, you were popular in LBP.
Yeah, like some people had like hundreds of thousands of followers. I was a friend with a guy named Big Surf. He had a couple MM picks. He had like over 100,000 followers on his world,
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
and he helped me like make some levels. It was really cool.
Some of the ones I played last night had 500,000 plays on them and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, and the MM picks get this little pink ribbon around the level.
Oh, yeah.
So like it's an MM pick.
So if you see that, you know it's going to be a good level.
Yeah. Let's see what else. There's the cool levels. There's like different what would you call them? Categories, I guess. They would put the levels in. Like
What do you mean?
there was cool levels, which were like the hottest levels at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was the MM picks, which got their own like section. And then there was the search bar. Then you can get like the newest levels out or whatever, which is like
the recent ones, which
recent.
anyone publishes.
Yeah, in that category, like you'd get a bunch of random stuff that wasn't even good.
Yeah, I think they've changed it a little bit, actually.
Yeah,
Probably to
I
go
haven't-
along the way Little Big Planet 3 was. There were the team picks, which are the MM picks.
Yeah.
There was Dive In, which you join random people.
Oh,
That was there
right.
before.
I never played that. I never did that.
We did that every once in a while, but not for long.
Maybe to make like a new friend or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm. And then there was the text search where you could search for whatever you wanted. Last night I played the Be a Giant and Destroy a City level.
Oh yeah,
That
I
was from
remember
Little
that.
Big Planet 1, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
And Chug used to play that, and he'd put his character down, and he'd dance to the music and stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you'd always get annoyed at me.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah, you'd get
you'd
really mad at him.
angry.
Oh my.
It's hilarious. And I would encourage him to do it because I thought it was funny seeing him get mad.
Yeah. What were some of your guys' favorite levels?
I used to like the Angry Whale Encounter level.
Yes.
I played that last night.
Oh my, yes.
Basically, you have this little whale skeleton in the bottom of a boat, and if you release it, the mom whale will come after you and will destroy the entire boat.
Yeah.
And there are various things on the boat, like helicopters or harpoons
Mhm.
and little dinghies to go on.
Yeah.
You can get swallowed by the whale too, and go in the whale's stomach.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
grab its heart, and it makes him open its mouth.
Oh my.
But no, it was really cool. The water looks amazing in that game.
Yeah, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, that was pretty good water.
It's actually satisfying going in the water in that game.
Yeah.
Especially with the diver tool or whatever.
The
Oh,
scuba gear,
yeah.
Yeah.
What else is there? I remember that there were a couple Call of Duty there was this one guy that made like Call of Duty levels. Those were fun.
Yeah.
Like where you'd there'd be like waves.
Okay, so I mentioned first-person shooters, and so the way the game worked was there were 3 layers, and you could switch between any of the layers in the main platforming game.
Mm-hmm.
But some people figured out a way to glitch it so they could put things way in the background,
Yeah.
and from that opened up a lot of other opportunities of making fully 3D stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And some people created some awesome games.
Yeah.
Like they would use it mostly for background layers, like putting mountains in the background or something like that. But I don't know, it's just crazy what they made with it.
Well, the 3D, the whole thing, how people accomplished the 3D actually wasn't with the layers. What they would do is they would have a vertical wall. They would create the scene on that vertical wall and then tilt the camera, rotate the camera like to where the player's view is on that vertical wall. Like it was kind of confusing, but they wouldn't use the layers because you're not able to pass those three layers.
Yeah.
So the way to make it feel seemingly 3D was they would have the vertical wall, and then they would tilt the camera to where your view was on that vertical wall, which made it seem like it was a floor.
Oh, okay.
But I remember there was that glitch where they had those little bubbles that went way off into the distance.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow you can glitch it into one of the back layers.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to travel on it, but you would be able to create a scene in the back.
Yeah.
It was weird because I did the same thing, and then those, like sometimes the mountains, it was super fidgety back there. So like you'd be trying to move a mountain or something, and then all of a sudden it would like break.
Yeah.
And then you would have to rewind.
Oh, yeah. So in the moon levels where you can create your own, you had a ton of different controls of what to do with the world. You had rewind and fast forward. You could pause time. You could make water come up out of the ground. You can change, not the weather, I don't think, right?
You change the water level. You can change the weather. You can change the tint of the back of the world.
You
or
can
like
change,
how it looked.
Yeah, the whole background of the world.
Fog. I think you might have been able to do rain. I'm not. No. I don't think rain.
The world is actually huge though. Like the place you can actually build levels.
You have like, it's basically like an empty canvas. Like you have perimeters, but you can build your world within that perimeter. And you have those three layers that you can move, your Sackboy can move in. So it was kind of, it was almost like 2D in a way. Like it was kind of like linear, but you can move within those three layers. I don't know.
It was simple but complicated at the same time.
I mean, it was really complicated. Like if you got into some of the circuit board stuff, you'd be able to make like switches that would have like a randomizer. Like you can do it to where like if this touches this, then the circuit board, you can wire it to where it turns to yes or no. And then like it'll have a certain reaction to it. And they had their own music synthesizer, like their own music maker in the game. And
people would make their own music for their levels.
Yeah, I had a guy make my music for my levels, like custom music.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, the game, like it may seem like really simple, but it was insanely complicated.
Last night I was thinking of what made it so good. And I think it was that people made the most of the tools that were given to them.
Yeah.
Certain games try to do too much. And I think that kind of stifles creativity.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, it's like having a bucket of Legos to play with as opposed to having a set.
Yeah.
And with the bucket of Legos, the more limited you are, the more you have to have an imagination to actually create things.
Yeah.
So I think that's what went wrong with Little Big Planet 3, was they gave people too many layers. I think 15 layers.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like that. And that's just too much to work with.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. It was that the game wasn't even developed by MM.
Yeah, and so it lost a lot of its charm.
It did, yeah. It wasn't like... Another thing is like they added 15 or however many layers, and they also added more characters to play. So there wasn't just the Sackboy, there was the big guy, the bird. Like, it was too broad.
Yeah.
Like, with Little Big Planet 2, it was just the right amount of like complex systems that you can work with, but open enough to where someone can take that and make it into something whatever they want, whatever their imagination brings them.
So, and then I think Little Big Planet 3 gave players too many options so that they would just kind of get overwhelmed and maybe try to use the tools they gave them as opposed to changing that and doing what they wanted with the tools.
Yeah, I think Little Big Planet 3 focused more on the actual story part of it than the actual building part of it.
Yeah. I mean, like in Little Big Planet 2, the story's great, but you don't play Little Planet 2 for the story.
You play it once and then probably never play it again.
Yeah, you play it so that you can either create or explore the community.
And you got some items for playing the main story too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to play the game, the story mode, the story levels, and get 100% if you're going to be a creator, because you need everything.
Yeah. Plus, you can get things from playing other people's levels too.
You can.
Yeah, true.
If they have an item that you want and you see it in the world, you can actually go and grab it.
Yeah, you save it to your inventory, I guess you can call it.
No, you can't just grab it.
If you're in a create mode, you could grab it.
Oh, and in create mode. Not if you're playing the level, then you can't grab it unless they make it a prize.
I've actually gone into an item world before. Have you ever done that before?
What, where they just give you a bunch of items?
It's just like hundreds of items just dropped into this pit, You just fall in and you grab everything, and then that's the end of the
Yeah.
level.
The items were stored in these little bubbles that you could pick up, and it was always satisfying to jump and get those bubbles.
Yeah.
The particle physics in that were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the fire.
Yeah, the fire, there
Water.
was electricity,
Yeah.
plasma, I think.
Okay, remember those levels we created, the deathmatch levels?
Yeah. So it's cool because another thing that you can do in the creative mode is you have these Sackboy robots. And with those Sackboy robots, you can put like skins on them. So basically what you do is you can put a controller in them. And that controller has a set circuit board to where like this moves. You can like wire it to where like left stick makes you move. This button makes it do this. This button shoots. This button does. And you have to wire it all. And then you can add physics to that Sackbot. Like maybe it's denser than a normal Sackboy. Like it's heavier or it's lighter or it has this booster that can make you jump higher.
It's pretty much a bot from like Call of Duty in the little missions, except you could tell them to do whatever you want.
Yeah. And then if you put the controller in there, your Sackboy can control that. So what we did is we had those, and then when the person would start the level, they'd be in that Sackboy. And then we would wire it to where that Sackboy would have health. Or did we do that in that one?
No, we just put bots in there to fight us.
Okay.
But yeah,
You can do that where you can have a health bar because normally your Sackboy dies when it comes in contact with any sort of harmful like material or substance.
Mm-hmm. Like the electricity. You could do a little animation where he'd get electrocuted and then burst.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
my favorite level that we created was the space one.
Yeah, the
The
space.
zero gravity one.
Yeah.
We
That
had
was
the
fun.
space background too, so it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could turn gravity off.
Yeah, we
That was cool.
Yeah, we turned the gravity off, and then we made like this little spaceship that had like burst, and then these asteroids that you can jump on.
Yeah, and we had like that secret little room in
Shotgun?
the giant asteroid with the triple shotgun or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I think it was ahead of its time.
It really was.
It definitely was actually, because
Yeah.
if this game came out now, it would be popular for many years.
That's
It's disappointing. Like
that's the shame of it.
they need to bring it to PC or something.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll ever happen,
because
but
it like if you, I was watching some videos on it like a couple weeks ago, and it's like everyone that comments were us. Like they were saying, I remember playing this game years ago when I was younger, and like. Okay, there's this weird thing where people wanted to like look emo in the game.
yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
So everyone would like make their like create their costume and make them look emo. It was weird, but like I don't know, it's weird. Like everyone had the same experience. Like the community was so knit together. I've never seen a community like that.
I don't think we ever will either.
I don't think so.
It was almost like social media before social media became
Yeah.
popular.
Is it the way you said it before, Caleb? It sounded like you said that everybody that played Little Big Planet 2 is emo.
Well, no, I mean that like
Their characters are trying.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
I mean that like everyone was like us. Like they had this almost like the same experience. Like they have the same feelings. Like
Yeah.
they're like, man, I miss this community
Mhm.
because it died after Little Big Planet 3.
Yeah, and also the release of the PS4, everyone switched platforms.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have died if they had probably brought it to PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
if they did the crossplay with the
Yeah.
PS3 games on the PS4, then would've
Little Big Planet 3 was
longer.
supposed to fill that gap, but it didn't. It just failed.
Yeah, they were probably working on Dreams, right?
Yeah. The MM was working on Dreams at the time, and that just released, didn't it?
it released
A
this
couple
year.
months ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got Dreams to play it for a little bit, and it's fun. It's really good. There are a lot of tools you can use, but it doesn't have the charm of Little Big Planet, and definitely doesn't have the community.
Didn't
Yeah.
you say that they rely a lot on motion controls?
Yeah, if you want to be proficient in that game, you got to use PS Move controllers,
Yeah.
and then because you got to use it like a paintbrush or like a sculpting tool and stuff like that.
Although
It's
with-
really cool the way it works, but it's just expensive to get
yeah.
into.
That one's more of like almost what is it? Like a game engine in a way, right? It's
Yeah.
like
It is,
close
yeah.
to yeah.
I mean, Little Big Planet was too.
It was, yeah. But Dreams is more you have like a 3D spectrum to work with.
So you could do platformers or first-person shooters
Yeah.
natively without glitching anything.
But yeah, Little Big Planet was crazy. It was way ahead of its time, honestly.
Definitely.
I'm glad I had those like couple years where we played it like every day.
Oh yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's such an amazing experience playing that game.
Yeah,
Especially for younger kids who are just more creative in general.
true. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain it to people that never had that experience.
it's like I don't know. It's like someone gave you like this bag of tools, and then you could just do whatever you want with them. Like just go
you're like
wild.
the god of your own world, basically.
Yeah, and then you get to share that with the community that was really well knit.
Mm-hmm.
And like people would be like, "Oh, this is a great game," or maybe like it's not such a great game or something, or a level.
Yeah, and people weren't mean about it. If they say
not
that
always.
if there were mistakes, they would try to help you.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, most of the time they would be like, "Hey, like there's a bug here," or like there's something not working here.
Yeah.
Or how about the DLCs?
We didn't get a lot of those. We mostly game shared off of you.
Oh
off
yeah.
Of you.
Well, the superhero one was really good.
Yeah. So there was like what was it, DC characters or was it Marvel?
It was
like
DC.
I think both.
I
remember there
both.
was a Spider-Man.
I thought it was just superheroes.
Yeah, they had
general.
a superheroes one where it had its own story, but the reason why people would get the DLCs is because they would release new mechanics and new materials and new like objects that you can use and you're creating through that. Like one of them was I think it was in the Muppets, and I really
I love the Muppets.
Yeah, they had a
one
Muppets
too.
DLC. The reason I bought it is because I really, really wanted this one material that would allow you to walk on the material, like basically like walk on walls.
I used that last night.
Yeah, so that was like a reason I really wanted that one, so you can use it in your levels. And then another one in the superhero one was that you can jump on the material, and then you do like this little pose on that material. Your little sack boy would do a pose, and then you could bounce off of that and jump off of that one. So it just opened up more opportunities to like do more things.
And
How
that
many
was for the
DLCs were there?
creators. Wait, what?
What was it?
Or I was gonna ask, how many DLCs were there?
I want to say like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Some of them were more like not as popular, but definitely the Muppets and the superhero one was like those really stand out.
My favorite background for the superhero one was the one that we used for our space level.
Mm-hmm.
It
was cool.
Felt like the whole world was massive.
I know. It's crazy.
I was going to say the DLC packs are mostly for the creators because you could be just a normal player and you could play all the DLC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there were story modes for it.
Yeah.
You couldn't play the story modes, but you can play other levels that people had put the DLC stuff in.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to create with that, you just had to buy the DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all like $2 each.
What, the DLC packs?
Yeah. They were really cheap.
Well, they used to be like $10, $10 to $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember I had to get a $20 PSN card to buy them.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. They must have dropped them in price because the game's old now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying that there's like basically there's the creators and then there's like the people that focus on either the story or like playing the community games.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. I was never into creating stuff.
Well, I played a lot with you guys, but there was like a point where I basically like most of what I did was creating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had I think I had like over 1,000 or no, was it? I don't know, maybe a couple hundred followers. And then I had some guy. It's weird because it's like you make all these connections. I had a guy that made music for me. I had a guy that made basically like my thumbnails for my levels.
A guy.
Yeah, and then I had a guy that made my a custom logo for my world. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like I don't know, you didn't pay him, but that's how the community was. You're like, hey, can you make this for me? And I'd give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's weird. It was like a weird knit community, but like you would have people that specialized in something. Like that one guy specialized in music, and I would mostly make platformers.
I like the logic stuff.
The logic stuff was really cool.
You could do so much.
You can do anything.
You could program a full game with that, basically.
Yeah.
I used to love, I think the hat was called the Creationator.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make the hat do whatever you wanted. Like you could have it emit certain objects, basically any object you wanted.
Yeah.
So you can create this giant bomb that gets shot out of it.
Yeah.
Or you can make this little tiny bomb that shoots insanely fast.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just have it emit one little object that comes flying out and has its own properties.
Yeah.
It's just literally infinite possibilities with it.
Yeah. It's really crazy, honestly. It's surprising, honestly, what they were able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to see the jump from Little Big Planet 1 to 2. like I've heard people talk about it, and it's like Little Big Planet 1 was a good game that introduced a lot of unique things, but then Little Big Planet 2 was like a great game.
Yeah.
It was an amazing game. And I don't know if MM really like realized the community, like what the community would become.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like if they had realized, they could have capitalized on that
yeah.
and maybe somehow brought a better game to the community.
There was this one community, or there's this what is it? Like the community was making another game for PC. What was it called? Little Big Planet Restitched, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And it was supposed to kind of like bring back what was Little Big Planet 2.
And I would have loved that.
But it got cut.
Shut down by
Sony.
Sony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Which is, I don't know.
Because they don't have the rights or whatever?
Well, they weren't going to even charge for it. It was going to be free.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is stupid because I think Sony just didn't want people having a reason to play on PC.
Yeah.
That was the only reason they would shut it down.
Yeah, I was really disappointed when I heard that.
Yeah. That would have been so good.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people excited for it too.
I wonder if on the PS5 with crossplay, I wonder if Little Big Planet 2 will come back.
How far are they going back with the crossplay?
All systems, I'm pretty sure.
All systems? Whoa.
I'll double check real fast, but I thought it was all of them.
That would be amazing.
I'll just double
check.
check.
Yeah, I wonder if that is the case, then that might bring back like a lot of people to Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah.
Although there's so many games now, it really just, I don't know. I wonder if people would like take the time to go back. You know, you checking now, Jay?
Yeah, I'm looking. It may have been just a rumor. I may have just been reading a rumor about it.
Maybe it's only backwards compatible to PS4. Could be possible that
PS3 is a little far back.
I mean,
it could be just PS4.
Based on the same hardware, though.
Yeah.
Xbox did
Even
it.
if it was just PS3, if it goes back to only just PS4 and PS3, I would be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really play PS2 or PS1. The first PlayStation. I played No, I did play the original Xbox.
PS3 was Jid and I's first console.
Yeah.
PS4 is confirmed.
Oh, and PS3 is a rumor?
Let me see. Oh, okay. So I guess PS3, PS2, and PS1 will not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw a rumor about it, but I guess not.
Well, maybe now that they're done with Dreams, maybe they'll start developing another game. Although I don't know if they would go through to Little Big Planet.
Probably not.
Because, I mean, they probably are focusing a lot on Dreams.
Who knows what would happen now with the current way the internet is.
What do you? Oh,
just hostility and stuff.
Yeah, there was a sense of like innocence to the game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just the community was really. Well, I mean, the community was built of younger people, younger kids. We were kids when we were playing it.
What I noticed about Dreams was there isn't the interactivity between people. You couldn't just randomly join people in their world. You couldn't find other people to play with easily. As far as I know, you couldn't even leave comments on their levels.
It's more of a solo experience.
Yeah, solo or with like a friend or two. But most games are built for one person.
Yeah.
So they definitely aren't going for the community feel with it.
Yeah.
More towards the creating amazing games.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a mistake because they had such a good thing with Little Big Planet.
Mm-hmm. Just seeing the interface on Dreams is completely different than Little Big Planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is a different game, so
yeah. But I mean, it's not like even the starting. I guess you can say starting screen of Little Big Planet was like optimized for community. You know, for like playing with friends.
Yeah. And I love your, what was it called? Your little shuttle, your pod.
Yeah, you'd have this little shuttle that you'd start the game.
It's cardboard. It was a little cardboard shuttle.
And you pop straight into the shuttle, right? There was no start game options.
Mm-hmm. There was the little opening cutscene.
Yeah, but
with real life people, but that was it.
Other than that, you just pop straight into your little shuttle, and there'd be the PS3 controller there, and then like you can run around your shuttle. You can customize your shuttle. When you invite your friends, they pop into your shuttle, like and you guys.
It's a lobby, basically.
Basically, yeah. And then you jump on the controller. Your little sack boy would jump on the controller, then you go into whatever.
And whatever you do on your controller in real life, that's what your sack boy does in the game. It's really cool.
I forgot about that. That's cool, yeah. Another thing is that like you could use you mentioned it before, I think, Jay, but you can use your Sackboy to like do different emotions with the D-pad. So like there was 3 levels of the emotion.
There's actually 4.
Yeah, but the 3 levels to each emotion.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Like the smile, it was like a little smirk, and then a bigger smile, and then you do like the biggest smile. And then when you'd hold the back triggers, your fingers would do a little peace sign.
Yeah.
And then you do the mad, and then you get mad, and then like super angry. And it was like really cute. Your little Sackboy would like make that expression.
Yeah, and then the crying one. The
Yeah, the
third level
crying.
he's like outright bawling.
Yeah.
Although you don't hear it, you just see it.
Yeah, and then the scared one too.
Yeah.
And happy.
Yeah. So like when we would play, or when people would play the like Jeff the Killer level, where like Jeff the Killer's chasing you and your friends, we'd like do the little scared like expression on the Sackboy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just added another level of
Charm.
You charm, yeah. The game, I guess you can just like say the game was like charm. Like
Pretty
it was
much.
It's
filled
a
with
really
charm.
cute game.
Yeah.
Ben was playing it for a while last night.
Yeah. We used to play with Ben, right? Or I used to.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but Ben was a lot younger, so.
How old was he
I
then?
forget.
Well, that was
4
like.
or 5? Maybe 6?
Yeah, he was really
how many
young.
years ago? It came out in like 2012, right? Same.
Let me check.
I think it was 2012 because it was the same year that Black Ops 2 came out.
Was it really?
I'm pretty sure.
That's kind of weird. We played Black Ops 2 I played Black Ops 2 and Little Big Planet.
One thing about the game is that the graphics are kind of future proof.
Yeah.
Like they're in such a way that they'll never get old.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the way they did it was so unique that it's not like the game looks amazing or the game looks bad. It's just how the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's set in stone basically.
Even though it did look really good.
Yeah.
Even now.
2011.
It was 2011. Okay.
The second one came out?
No, the second one came out in 2011. Yeah.
That's crazy. When did the first come out?
The
2008?
first one, let me check.
That was like 2008 or 9.
I don't know. Let me see. 2008. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. That's crazy.
They attempted to make I think after Little Big Planet 2, they made a Little Big Planet karting.
Oh, yeah.
LVP card.
We never even got it.
I got it, but it was not very good.
Why would you do that, though? I mean, yes, it is charming, but it's not about...
It takes away.
Yeah, it's not about the characters. It's about the gameplay that accompanies the characters.
Yeah, and another thing is that Little Big Planet 2 was just specific enough, yet broad, that allowed people to kind of go wild with their imaginations. But Little Big Planet karting was too specific.
Yeah.
And
To
linear.
Yeah, and linear, to where it was like just karting.
It's like Garfield kart.
Yeah. And then Little Big Planet 3 was just too broad.
Yeah.
It's like they made the perfect amount of everything in Little Big Planet 2. So let's just entertain the idea. If they were to make, let's say, Little Big Planet 4 for the PS5, what do you guys think would improve it?
Well, you definitely need everything from Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same story, obviously, but
Right.
all the same controls. Keep it at 3 layers.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
The 15 layers was too much.
Even something in between wouldn't work, I feel like.
3 layers is perfect enough because
Yeah.
if you stand in the middle layer, remember if you jump and there's another layer behind you, you automatically go to it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't really do that in Little Big Planet 3,
Yeah, you had to physically actually do it.
which is annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe add more animations like going upstairs or something,
Yeah.
because I noticed stairs were annoying to go up. 'Cause you had to jump.
You had to jump on each thing. Unless they were like, the stairs were small enough to where you can actually run up them.
Yeah. Maybe make a way to create stairs that the character can climb up.
Mm-hmm.
More mechanics like that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was thinking Little Big Planet 2 might be the perfect game for creativity.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at it, let's look at it with just the game. Like, let's take out the community, even though the community was so amazing. Like, let's just take out the community and look at the game.
It's
Like,
still
the-
an amazing.
It's still
game.
amazing.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that, like, if you look at the abilities you have in the creating levels, it's perfect.
It is.
I spent a lot of my time on the moon just creating stuff and messing around with the world controls.
Yeah.
Like, I would even make up my little own scenarios in my head. I'd put a bunch of sack bots that are enemies over there, and I'd get in a boat, and I'd have them coming towards me, and I'd shoot at them with cannons or something.
Yeah.
Like, I just had fun doing whatever I wanted.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't know. It's almost like the perfect game for younger kids. Like we played it when we were younger.
Not even. Well, it is perfect for younger kids, but even adults too.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was like still alive in a way.
Yeah.
Because then it's almost like it would give me something to break up, like all these other games that I'm playing that are like really serious and like I love that, but just to kind of mess around and just like
have some fun with your friends for a little bit.
yeah, just like actually use my imagination in a way, like
Or just wind down and create a fun level.
yeah. I mean, for me, like when I created levels, like I did it so I could get on like the cool page or like I did it like like I made my levels like because I really wanted to make like a really solid level.
Yeah, I was the type of player to just jump into creating Into the Moon and just mess around with the stupid
Make
things.
giant butts or something.
Yeah, he'd put objects around the world and wait for you to find it and get mad.
Yeah.
Like that one object we found with the dude sitting on the toilet and he's screaming how he has diarrhea because of bananas or something.
He said, I need some bananas for my diarrhea.
Yeah. And then he starts like
Screaming
pooping all over the place. It was,
Oh my.
and then I would put like 100 of those things down and all you'd hear is just like that. And you'd get so angry at me.
Yeah. Well, that's because most of the time I was like, or a lot of times I would create like in a serious way.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to create to like get a lot of views or a lot of plays.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like fun to just jump in creative and then use all the objects you got from other people's creations and use them and just like have fun.
Well, what's
Yeah.
cool
Whatever
is
you want.
you can actually create an object and save it for later.
Yeah.
So like if you made something amazing and you don't want to lose it, just save it and you just put it down again later and show it to your friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Or your
share
friend
it.
makes something, and you can take their item and use it for something else.
Mhm.
You can also if you make levels and it's a really cool object, you could put it in one of those item bubbles. And when people walk over it, they actually get that item in their item selection. So they could put it down too.
Yeah, sometimes with the arcade game or like the arcade ones, they would have like for instance like a game where you would kill or like it was like a shooter level and you would get points for, you know, however many bots you killed or whatever. At the end of that, you'd be able to like purchase like quote unquote purchase like one of the items in that level for however many points you got. So like people would replay the game or the level just to get more points so they can get that item and use it in their own worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you could place them in the bubbles around the world too. You don't necessarily have to put it as your ending prize.
Yeah.
The leaderboards at the end.
Oh yeah.
Remember, it's a giant computer.
Yeah.
And once you get there, there's like a little cheering animation. I think there's confetti and stuff. And you see all the scores people have gotten before you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Little Big Planet 1 was only 2 layers.
No, it was 3.
That was PSP.
Oh, okay. That
Limitations
makes sense.
of that device.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, it was 3. Which it kind of like weirds me out that they went from like Little Big Planet 1 3 layers, Little Big Planet 2 3 layers, Little Big Planet 3 15. It's like where did that come from?
They just thought, let's go big on everything. And people hated it.
I don't know who developed it. It wasn't MM.
No, it wasn't.
It was someone else. I don't know who, but I don't know. I don't think they really had like the passion for the game like MM did.
We're talking about Little Big Planet 4, if that ever existed.
Right.
Only Sackboy is the character.
Yes.
None of the odd sock fat guy from 3 or whatever his name is.
Yeah, base it on Little Big Planet 2. Just take everything from Little Big Planet 2.
They're like use that as a model. Like,
what would they improve?
The only thing they could improve is like what you were saying, this like stairs, like little kinks in the game that like kind of were annoying. But I mean, we didn't really care about them then. We were just playing for fun. But just add more mechanics that don't make it to where it's like Little Big Planet 3.
I was gonna say doors and stuff, but actually probably not because players made their own doors because they didn't have doors given to them.
Yeah.
So that just made more creative stuff come out.
It's like MM gave us the tools and then we took the tools and used it for like whatever we didn't have.
Yeah, pretty much.
And where it went wrong in Little Big Planet 3 when they decided, hey, we'll give you all these extra tools that you don't need, stifling the creativity.
Yeah.
Imagine the developers that actually had to make all the basic story levels. Imagine how much time had to go into that.
Actually,
and
yeah.
And serious creativity.
All the story levels are created by the devs, like with the tools. So you could, in theory, create whatever the devs made in the story, like by yourself. It's kind of like a showpiece. Like, hey, you can do everything we're doing here in the story mode. Like, here you go. Here's everything you need.
Yeah.
So
I just remembered when you talked in game, your mouth would move.
Oh yeah. When you talk over voice chat or whatever.
Yeah, and then you could also put voices in your games too.
Could you really?
Yeah. Don't you remember the little mouth you could put on people?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because people would put like real world songs in there or something, or like
But it was terrible because it was through this awful mic.
Yeah, like that. What's that little? I had a mic. I used to use a mic that was like a Bluetooth.
Oh really?
Earpiece. Yeah, but it was like Sony Bluetooth earpiece.
We had that for the PS4.
No, it wasn't the little plug-in one. It was like
it wasn't the one singular earbud with the mic on it.
Oh,
it wasn't
really?
that.
It was like a wireless earpiece.
That's awesome.
I don't know where I got it, but it was weird. So yeah, people would put in songs like that. Oh, the soundtrack in the game is amazing.
Yeah.
They use real world songs for a lot of
A couple.
it.
Yeah, like the Sleepyhead was one of them.
That song was weird.
And then they had their own songs too that they added.
Mm-hmm.
All of them were memorable.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, someone will randomly play them in the chat every once in a while
yeah,
for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this episode. We also have a new Discord server up, so if you're interested, go to cuboldgaming.com and we have the link on there. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.